Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Sanch, your host here on the Bodybuilding News Network. Welcome back to the channel. Now, we are just finishing up the Tampa Pro. Technically, it did finish up yesterday. And we do have a new champion. Hunter Labrada did come out with the win, with the victory here at the 2023 Tampa Pro Men's Open Bodybuilding Division. We did briefly discuss it yesterday, but I did want to go into an in-depth analysis of his footage, of the stage footage from his finals before he won the show, or technically he won the show as soon as he was announced. As soon as that scorecard came out, we knew he was going to win that show. Some people were saying they were the Notre Dame of bodybuilding. Serious or silliness plug about that. I know me and the boys were talking in the chat about that, so I thought that was kind of funny. Shameless plug. Now, he did confirm he's going to be doing the Texas Pro in just under 2 weeks out from that. And the big conversation is going to be, is he going to be able to knock out the favorite, Andrew Jacked? Now, we did compile footage here, as you can see, of Andrew Jack's pro debut at the Texas Pro last year and his Arnold Classic footage. I don't believe I put the Olympia footage in here, but that is what we're going to work with. And of course, in my opinion, and I do believe in your opinion as well, this is the best footage we've ever seen of Hunter Labrada. One, Gilesco, Gilesco, right? Gilesco Productions is always doing a phenomenal job with the footage, with the quality of their videography and photography. So, one, you've got to mention that. You've got to make sure you put that out there and put that out in front. But also, Hunter Labrada, this is the best package, in my opinion, that I've ever seen from him. Of course, you can let me know if I'm way off. I think you're going to agree with me that this is the best package Hunter has ever brought. And I even put some notes down here. You know, is this huge improvements for Hunter Labrada in terms of conditioning? I believe so. I think it's miles above his Olympia presentation, the Olympia package that he brought. But there also is going to be some questions about the size and how much muscle he's been able to put on in the last year. Now, I will say that a very modest growth trajectory. Anyways, typically, if you can put on 6 pounds of muscle in a year, you're doing really, really good as an enhanced bodybuilder. When you look at the top bodybuilding pros in the world, you know, Hunter's placed 4th at the Mr. Olympia. So he is considered one of those top pros. If he's able to put on that much improvement, that much muscle in just a year, that's huge for him. But I think that the conversation, and I think that the fact after the dust settles, is going to be that the conditioning is showing that he has more muscle. Not exactly that he has more muscle, but the presentation or the illusion of more muscle. I would say that is more realistic than thinking that he put on a boatload of muscle in this last season. Of course, it is possible. He did go from, for the most part, protein shakes. If you correct me if I'm wrong here, protein shakes and chicken shakes to eating actual tangible, chewable food. And that has to play a huge part in the improvements that we've seen from Hunter Labrada from the last Olympia in 2022 to his victory at the 2023 Tampa Pro. Now, let's go through the footage here of Hunter Labrada and Andrew Jacked side by side, this year's Tampa versus last year's Texas for Andrew. And when I look at this, I have to give Andrew Jacked the legs. I think that he has wider, more dense legs, not as conditioned or detailed as Hunter's. Some of Hunter's quads, I think that they look really, really good. And the tie-ins all the way up to the posing trunks is something that I'm a big fan of. It's something I prefer it. You know, the midsection. I would say the midsection. I think Hunter made huge improvements in the midsection with the vacuum pose that he hits periodically. But overall, Andrew Jack's midsection is, I believe, far and above. I don't think it's comparable. I think the midsection, the taper, the oblique width, all around, they both have phenomenal small waists. But Andrew Jacked really stands out as having a better midsection. When we look at the chest, I think that it's a non-contest at all. Hunter is not known for having a huge, thick chest. Some of the side shots does look really nice, and from the back you really can't see it at all. That's a funny joke, but Andrew has huge pectoral muscles, great, thick, full, dense pectoral muscles. They literally hang off him. He's got so much muscle tissue there. So I'd give Andrew Jack the legs, the midsection, the chest, the biceps, although you might not be able to see them perfectly right now in the footage, is, I think, better. I think Andrew's biceps look better. They look bigger. They look fuller. They have better conditioning. I would say maybe Hunter wins in the delt department. Something I did actually write down was Hunter has he's very wide, and his delts are very full, and it really does give him that crazy wide proportion that a lot of guys lack, and Totoro agrees. Totoro found a way to jump out of my 5-story apartment the other day, and now he's limping, so I have to take him to the vet. So that was a very stressful day for me, so I'm sure we'll talk about that on our muscle report weekly, so stay tuned for that. Triceps is going to be kind of a tough one. I think that Hunter actually might be able to pull off winning in the tricep department, but it is close. I think Andrew has very nice tricep development. All 2 heads, the long and the short, they both look very nice. From the back, I think this is where the show is going to get. This is where Hunter's going to maybe win some. He's going to win some points. When you look at the thickness, the width, and the detail, Hunter has a lot of detail in that back double bicep. He does lose some detail in the lat spread, the rear or the back lat spread, but Andrew Jack is not a slouch when it comes to those back shots. You got to think the glutes and the hamstrings, the midsection, the upper trap development, the rhomboids, the way the lats sweep into the spine, all around just looks phenomenal. And I think the show is going to be decided from the back. I think Andrew wins in the front in most of the front poses. I would say Hunter could win the side shots, and he could also win maybe some posing points if that's a thing. But overall, it's going to be a good competition. It's going to be a good contest. And I'm looking forward to seeing what other pro competitors are going to be showing up to the show. We've got Carlos Jr. I already forgot his name. Pro debut. He's going to look amazing. I think he's going to be a guy that's going to have a conversation to be an upset here. He could win this show. A lot of people were saying Andrew Jack was just all hype, winning his pro card at the Amateur Arnold, and then coming into his first show at the Texas and dominating. So there's going to be opportunities for these guys coming into their pro debuts to absolutely shock the world and rise to the cream of the crop very quickly. Even Derek Lunsford being a 212 champion. A lot of people had him maybe outside the top 10, maybe in the top 10, but no one anticipated him being in the top 2 at his first Open Olympia. So I would say that the exciting pick is going to be the pick. Now, there is going to be some conversation about marketing and branding and what's best for the Olympia. I think that is a conversation worth having. It is a topic worth entertaining and talking about, but the physique still has to speak for itself. You still have to show up right. And that's exactly what Hunter Labrada did at this most recent Tampa Pro. And I think that historically, the few times that we've been able to see Andrew Jack within technically it's almost like a calendar year between the Texas and the Arnold Classic, that wasn't even 12 months, right? So we've only seen him competing as a pro for a year. So this is going to be the first time outside of his first technically calendar year of competing that we're going to get to see what level of detail, what level of conditioning, what amount of muscle he's going to be able to put on or has put on since starting his offseason after the Arnold Classic. To be fair, not a long time from the Arnold to now when you look at a complete offseason. And that is one of those things that it's just going to happen to you if you're not in that top 6. Remember that the Manions came out with a new ruling, the Pro League, in essence. The Manions are the Pro League. The Pro League is the Manions currently. We'll see in 20 years. But they did come out with a change. They came out with the ruling. It changed who in the top 6 is pre-qualified for that next Olympia. And the open division was the only division that had all of the top 6, I believe, or top 5. The first call out essentially is qualified for the next Olympia. The other divisions, it was only the top 3. So I think that is going to also play a huge part in these guys trying to, I mean, everyone wants to be in the top 6, but it's going to be even more important to get into that top 6 so that you do not have to qualify, that you can keep up with the Joneses in essence and take a full off season. That's how it is. That's how it's going to be, unless Arnold continues to raise the prize money of the Arnold Ohio, the Arnold Classic Ohio, and gives incentives for these top dogs to compete. You're not going to see these guys doing other shows besides the Olympia. And it is unfortunate, but it is the reality that we live in. Now, I know this is probably getting a little bit of a longer video, but I did enjoy this topic. So please continue the conversation, or this topic and conversation, in the comment sections below. Please like and comment the video. It does help the show. It helps the channel reach people, like-minded individuals like yourself, and helps the channel grow. We are officially back. We will be making lots of content. So thank you for everyone who's been sticking around. I'm your host, Josh Sanch. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.